Hey, so I am recording a bunch in advance, and then, well, a bunch in advance because exams are coming up for me, and then it's the holiday season. Happy holidays. If you're seeing this, it's not the holidays just yet, it's like the weekend or something. But, so all of this is recorded before anything about season 5.5 has come out. Disclaimer, because it all could be fucking shit. But I think at the time of recording, is actually interesting to talk about. So I want to talk about balance right now. First off, because I've seen a few videos on it, and for the most part, yeah, strategists are too strong. And I saw people saying, "Oh, we'll just ban them," or "Isn't it good that the fun strategists are strong, and not something like Luna Loki?" Well, yes, it's fine that Luna's not that strong, but Invis is too strong. Like, we can agree that Invis is fun, and it's more fun to have an Invis meta than it is to have a different meta, but we can also still agree that it is not fun that one character sheerly dominates everything. I'm going to say that Gambit is too strong right now, but it is the season of his release. I think that it is good that he's strong, because he needs to be strong for hype around the season to happen. Right? The Blade season. Blade was bad, nobody played Blade, and so the season was boring, right? So I think it's fine that Gambit is strong right now, but my fear about Gambit being too strong is, you see how they didn't nerf Daredevil after his half season? You know, I'm kind of worried that they might not. So, yeah, who knows? We'll find out. Hopefully it's decent stuff. Decent. It's decent nerfs and patches and stuff, but I'm under the impression that nothing's going to significantly change. It's just going to be small changes that either add to or diminish from the power creep that's going on. But I think it's fine to admit that while these characters are fun and they're good for the game and good for the role, they are still super omega busted. Like Invis's self shield, giving her effectively 500 health and auto heal without even have to look, and if you walk through it, oh yeah, you're also slowed. And now she attacks faster and farther. Like, we can agree that's kind of fucking ass, because now you can't even, like, really ult her consistently, because a good invis, like, when I'm playing Mag, they know if I throw it behind the shield, they just move to the other side of the shield. Like, it's not this huge big brain play to do that. It's basic common sense, and so it makes it very hard to play around Invis now, or at least in my rank it does. At the top ranks, this is probably very different, but I think that some things can be Omega busted. Like, Venom is probably very fun to play. Doesn't mean he's not Omega, like, super good right now. The 30% anti is crazy. That's just, I think the balance in this game, I think all the numbers need to go down all around, because how it is right now is they keep trying things to stop. And I've talked about this once or twice. I've mentioned that they keep trying things to stop triple support, but in the end that only adds to triple support. Like, if you increase Psylocke ult damage like they did, well, now there's more of a reason to play 3 supports because your healing goes up. Or that punish it, and not only that, but it punishes 2 support even more because it punishes 2 support even more because the damage is too much for them to heal through. And the problem with that isn't that triple support is bad. In theory, triple support is really good. Sustained triple support is really bad. So, Gambit, Invis, Jeff. Let's say that's your 3 support roster. So Invis and Gambit do a lot of damage. They're Omega busted. Gambit can heal, get the most heals in the lobby, and some really good damage, like the damage of a DPS and kills and final hits. He can do whatever he wants because he's just that good. And that's fine, he's really fun, this is his season, let him be good. But, at the same time, like, you know, it's still not very fun to play against someone who can sustain his entire team, do a lot of damage. You're playing against Invis, who can sustain her entire team, do a lot of damage, has a lot of team util that can either mess you up if will mess you up if they're super good. Super hard to kill when they ult. Don't forget their ult is an immortality ultimate. It also slows you down and makes them invisible, so it's hard to see what they're doing if they want to combo ults with that. And then you play with Jeff as well, if you have Jeff, or Rocket, which is just constant healing on top of it so nobody dies. Hell, play Rocket, not Jeff. Even though I think Jeff's 20%, not 20%, sorry, like at max fall off, I'm pretty sure it's 20 damage per second. Even though I think that is really good because it hits the entirety of the enemy team. Rocket's probably better. The AoE healing lasts longer. I'm pretty sure it does more. You can do more damage, even though you have to use 2 different buttons, you can't do it at the same time. You can do more damage, and your ultimate not only gives people the overhealth, the blue shields. The blue shields that, by the way, when shot at, don't farm ult charge. You don't farm ult charge off that. But you also get 40% damage boost. So I think that's just like, the strategists in this game are super strong, and not in a way that balances them, because let's take Luna for example. Luna can 3-tap a support. If you have Luna in the practice range, you can 3-tap her with Luna at full range. But you go, what? But that's only headshots. Okay, it's a 4-tap to the body. Not that big of a difference. And then you go, okay, well, hear me out. That's without any fall-off damage. Okay, it's a 4-tap to the head and a 5-tap to the body at max distance. End of the day, Luna does disgusting amounts of damage if you decide to DPS with Luna. Luna does not suffer in the damage, where she probably should. They should probably lower Luna's damage because she heals so much, and in return increase both the healing and the damage of the clapping mode. Because then she suffers from something to be better at sustain. All of our good sustain supports outside of Loki, because Loki actually got butchered, and they took this away from Loki, because this is what Loki was really good at, being super good at sustain and super good at damage, and it made the game awful because it was just Luna Loki meta, right? For so many seasons, Luna Loki, but we have the same thing with Gambit and Invis right now, where they are super, super good at sustain, super, super good at damage, super, super good at survivability. So now, what are you gonna do? Okay, well, you gotta nerf it. Do what you did to Loki. Or not to Gambit. I want Gambit to still be good at everything, but I don't want him to be the best at everything. Because right now, I'll see a lot of triple support, and they run 2 of your regular supports, quote-unquote, the heal body ones, and then Gambit. And Gambit gets the freedom to be a DPS, be a support, be a heal bot, also be a DPS, and be utility. He can do anything he wants, as much as he wants, and the game comes down to how good is their Gambit, and can we play around it? Because if they were playing a normal DPS, I probably, the game would be easier because there's less util on the field. Gambit's just so good at everything. So when Gambit moves come, I want him to be good at everything. He should be jack of all trades. He can do everything. But he should not outclass the DPS in some of their own things. Those times where, he can outclass DPS, and not even times, if you just play him well, he outclasses DPS, and that's kind of crazy. But I think it's fine that Gambit is strong. I've already said that a few times. This is his season, let him be strong. This is not Luna's. This is not Invis's season. Why is she this strong? This is just not even, it's power creep to hell and back, so that way she is just Omega busted. And it's fine that she's fun, and we can still admit that she's busted. And you can't say, just ban her then. Just ban her then. You cannot balance a game around the ban system. That revokes the entire purpose of the ban system. The ban system is supposed to be there so everyone loves their characters. You discuss a comp. This is what we want to play? We want to play dive characters? Well, then let's ban anti-dive. But it also tips off the team that you're going to play dive characters, right? And it's supposed to be banning what helps you, and not just, okay, well, Wolverine, Luna, and Loki are the best characters this season, so let's ban them. This season, we need to ban Daredevil, Hela, Angela. You have to ban Angela, Daredevil, Hela, Invis, Gambit. There's so many characters that kind of need banned this season because they're so Omega busted right now, and I haven't even talked about them yet. I probably won't because I've made my points across for the most part. I'll just gloss over it. That you can't just say, ban them, and you can't say, well then they just need to add a 3rd ban to catch all of them, because then you're only banning the Omega busted characters. And games come down to which one did you not ban, so what's being played. Because if we ban Daredevil and I've had games where we ban Daredevil and God, why can't I remember their name? Daredevil and Gambit. I was just talking about it. I forgot his name. We'll ban them, and then they don't ban Hela. They'll ban 2 other people that are also really good. Penny's one of them. We're on a Penny map. They ban Penny, and Hela's unbanned. So what gets played is the Hela Namor team up, and if they play it and we don't, we lose. If we play it and they don't, we win. And if we both play it, it comes down to skill. So that's not how the game should function. The game should be relatively balanced. I know you can't know what's gonna happen, and sometimes things get Omega busted, right? But how did they think it was a good idea? Can we? That's insulting. I'm sorry, Guang Guang. I love you. Can we tone things down? Right? Triple support is really good because 1, it's easy. 2, it's kind of promoted. Hear me out. So, characters like Ultron, like Adam, they were meant to be DPS support hybrids, and they have less healing, but more damage, and some team util to make them still a strategist. They kind of bridge that gap, right? Well, they buffed Adam's ult 3 or 4 times, to the point where now it's just really good, and you can use it whenever. There's no timing really required, just positioning. You just want to position it well so your team doesn't get dunked on immediately. But even if your team gets jumped immediately, they are at effectively full health, and you get your support back so you can heal them up. But he still does his normal amount of damage, which is, like I said, a DPS hybrid, so roughly around DPS damage that Adam can do. Adam can dish out damage like crazy, but he also gets his heals faster, and he heals more, and he gets his ultimate faster. They are making him more and more and more better at healing, which kind of takes him away from the niche that he was in, which is DPS hybrid. And that's where Ultron started. Ultron started as always play him because there's no downside. He does all this damage and all this healing. He's just so good at everything. And then they nerfed him. But they made Rocket. Rocket kind of filled that goal for a little bit, because I would see people play Rocket Season 0 and Season 1 where they didn't just heal bot. They didn't. They used their healing on themselves, maybe a DPS if there was a DPS with them, and they would take off angles, flanks. They would position around their tank, give AoE healing to them in the tank, and they would help burst down the enemy tanks and get pressure off of them. But they buffed his healing and his ultimate to heal by so much that you don't get as much value doing that. But he does the same amount of damage, so he still shreds tanks, but he does crazy, crazy healing. We have incentivized heal botting by increasing the amount of heals that every single character does. Let me go to strategists. Adam got healing buffs. Cloak and Dagger has gotten healing buffs. Gambit heals crazy. Invis has got healing buffs. Jeff has gotten buffs to his healing and nerfs because he got buffed and nerfed and then reworked. Loki got nerfed because he was too good at healing and too good at damage, and then they buffed his healing, and now he is not very good at damage, but very good at healing. Luna Snow has always been good at both, got buffed multiple times, got her ult nerfed, but that's pretty much it, and apparently there's going to be that snowball buff. Mantis is by far the least egregious of this, but they still buffed the healing. Remember when they made it percentage based on how much, based on your max health, so that way she could heal tanks faster? They buffed her healing. Rocket, they buffed his healing. Ultron is the only one that started with you should always play him, and he got his healing nerfed. I understand we want supports to do multiple things, but then why do you consistently only buff their healing? Right? And then all classes, the balancing is just weird, because there's a lot of characters that, there's no point in playing unless you're just playing them for fun. But if we're talking about how balanced the game is, it's really not. Why can't Widow one-shot but Hawkeye can? The arrow doesn't take that long to hit unless you're at max range. People play Hawkeye at mid-range. So, and even if you're not headshotting, he can still do crazy chunks of damage to tanks. So the supports have to play behind a wall, but then the tanks don't get as much healing, and since the tanks don't get as much healing, Hawkeye just kind of bursts them down, especially with the Cloak and Dagger team up, where he provides vulnerability on them. Like, that's not balanced. Daredevil's not balanced. They didn't get nerfed after his season was over. Like, there's things that I just, when I go, oh, the balancing in this game is weird, it's not, I'm not talking about, I don't, how do I say this? I don't mean these characters are omega busted and they need nerfed, or they refuse to nerf the right things. It's just weird, because, like, I want strategists to do multiple things. I don't want them to heal bot. But they pretty much only buff their healing, at least that I can remember off the top of my brain while I'm rambling about this right now. Because remember, all my videos are just rants and ramblings. So they only buff those things, and they do that. But because they buff the healing so much, okay, they buff the damage so much. Moon Knight got a second big onk. Psylocke damage does more. Human Torch got buffed, and now he's back into Oblivion. Iron Fist gets more percentile damage. Daredevil exists. Hawkeye got more buff going into Season 5. He got more damage. They've made several changes to the flight speed and drop off of Namor's tridents to where they're easier to land, meaning he does more damage, whereas he used to do big damage, but the trade-off was that it was a projectile making headshots harder to hit, so it's like takes more skill to get full value out of him, because the squids only activate Berserk mode on headshots. And like, there was this cool counterplay, but we just keep buffing the healing and buffing the damage, and when I've said in past videos the game is too bursty all around, that problem only gets worse, because why would I not play 3 support? There's so much anti in this game, and there's so much damage in this game that if I look off of someone to heal a side DPS, a lot of times my tank just dies or we lose ground because they have to back up because they're dying. So I'm going to play 3 DPS, not 3 DPS, I'm going to play 3 tank. This is not a good day. This is not a good rant. I'm so sorry. I'm going to play 3 supports, because then we can always heal everyone all the time. Oh, and don't worry, you're worried you might lose out on damage? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Cloak and Dagger is a DPS form. Gambit does good damage. Invis does great damage. Atom does good damage because he's meant to be a DPS role. Rocket does good damage. Mantis does good damage. Ultron's not really worth it anymore. Jeff helps your dive finish off kills with his damage because he hits the supports for free. So like, you're not missing out on damage by playing triple support. You're playing heavy sustained characters with a lot of healing and good sustainability, and there is no downfall because they keep buffing the supports. Now, there is counterplay, right? When I say Omega busted, the only ones this season that are super Omega busted are Invis and Gambit, right? Mantis, if your team is good enough, but my team isn't always good enough to capitalize that, including me. I'm not always good enough to capitalize off that, and I end up feeding sometimes, because I go, oh, I have healing, and, you know, because I play, but casually, I'm in lower ranks, I'm in, like, midsection, I'm in diamond, like, it's not, no. But that's the problem, like, you cannot balance just for high ranks, even if this isn't a problem in low ranks. Again, Gambit is fine being busted this season. I'm just worried they won't nerf him because they didn't nerf Daredevil after last season. Daredevil had his season, didn't get nerfed. He's still Omega strong. Still, like, permabanned every game. It's crazy. Psylocke got buffed. Psylocke got buffed going into season 5.5, and she was already a terrorist. Already super, super strong. Like, you didn't even have to play Psylocke the best. You could just farm off tanks and win fights off your ult. I've seen it happen on my team, where my Psylocke would, like, not get any kills, and I'd talk to my buddy, is our Psylocke doing anything? And then they dash through, ult, kill the back guy, and we win the fight. Like, it's weird. That balance is, on one hand, so good, because this season feels way more fun to play than some of the previous ones, not than any of the previous ones, because I've had fun in every season so far. But, it feels so much fun because everything's so new, and because everything's so busted. It's like, wow, it's so fun because all these characters are really good, and I never know what's going to be played, and even if this is played and I don't think it's the best, you can make it work. But at the same time, I'm in lower ranks, so not everyone wants to play Invis Gambit all the time, but if the enemy team is playing Invis Gambit, we either go triple support or Invis Gambit back. And if they're going Invis Gambit in triple support, we need to go Invis Gambit triple support, or we pretty much lose. I don't know. Could just be where I'm at. Could just be the game right now. But I think the balancing needs to change just a tad. Just to, like, incentivize different things. If you're good at this, you're probably not going to be great at this. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think some of the tanks are Omega busted too. Like, Angela's really good. Mag is consistently one of the best tanks in the game, and he got buffed going into Season 5. What's the deal with that? Emma has gotten so many nerfs and is still consistently really good. Though I have my own opinions that I don't think you can nerf Emma without Emma being absolutely dog shit. But it's just like the things that are good. Venom was already really good. It got buffed, giving him the anti-heal, and hasn't gotten nerfed since. Captain America was not good in every rank, but he has been consistently played in the tournaments all the time. So I am going to go out on a limb and say he's probably still really good, but then he got buffed for his ultimate efficiency. That on his ultimate, he gives the ultimate efficiency gain. So, like, just what are we thinking? What are we doing? Because at the end of the day, I don't want this to be a game that is balanced around the ban system. I want it to be balanced, and then we ban based off what we're playing, what's going to happen in this game, what we want to do. Because if the ban system is just a catch-all, be-all for all the broken characters that the dev adds, then there might as well not be a ban system. Because if you don't ban Daredevil, you're kind of fucked. So you gotta ban Daredevil and you gotta ban Hela. People ban Penny on maps that Penny's really good at. Groot's a valid ban, but you kind of can't ban Groot, even though Groot's very good, because there's too much other stuff to ban. Like, Emma has been a good ban since release. Hawkeye's a great ban. Get him out of my game. Like, it is just insane. And I don't know how to fix it. I mean, any ideas would be great from you guys. I want something to change. I don't have any ideas how to fix it. This is my first hero shooter in, like, the Overwatch kind of 6v6 hero shooter. That's the genre. This is my first experience with a 6v6 hero shooter. I played it since release. I recognize that there was problems here. It shouldn't be like this. How do you fix it? We should talk to a big guy upstairs, because I have no idea. Ask someone who is consistently really good, who has played games for a while, even if they're not really good, because it doesn't feel the best all the time. Even though I say that this season is some of the most fun to play, if I get an Invis Gambit and their team just never dies, that's no fun. Or if I get a Hawkeye that is always killing my backline, or when my backline plays safe, always dropping me to full half health. Like, they play Hawkeye, me and my friend will go, like, Strange and Mag and still struggle. Like, we have to target that Hawkeye. We target and kill Hawkeye over and over and over again, and that's how we make progress. But that's not fun. That's not fun, it's not engaging, it's not gameplay that I want to take part in. So I don't know. What do you guys think about how this season's balancing has gone, and are you guys extremely ready for Season 5, 5.5, like I am? Rogue? Mommy? Wet Willy!